Hello. Hello, hello. Oh, we're doing a little bit of a makeup stream because I fucked around this morning with some VTuber drama. I didn't get the Classroom of the Elite stuff, so I wanted to do like an hour of like light novel readings before we go to Twitch for some regular anime reactions. I think that's the game plan for this stream. Yes, I think that is the game plan for this stream. Oh man, tough day, rough day. Fucking got up, watched some YouTube videos, and then I told my work that I'm feeling sick, so I stayed home to work from home. Well, all I really did was take a nap. Now I'm up, and now it's time to watch some anime. Man, my life is fucking hard. So much animes to watch. So many videos to watch. You guys have no idea how stressful this is, man. Every day is dreadful. It is just so painfully difficult, man, to watch just anime all day. Judging by the lack of responses, none of you understand what a fucking joke is. Alright, you guys are fucking lame. Alright, let's get to it. Jesus Christ, work with me, man. Fucking work with me. The crowd is just fucking empty, man. I'm trying my fucking best out here. Let's see. Take a break if you want. I just told you it's a joke. What part of me complaining about having to watch anime and watching videos for a living? How does that sound realistic? No shot you took that seriously. I'm baffled. I'm out of words. I am out of words. What is this video?
Or Fantasy Co. It makes the series stand for 6.
Yeah, you did take it seriously after I specifically told you that this is a fucking joke. Jesus Christ, where's everyone else to fucking laugh at my jokes? And then you responded, take a break if you want. Look, I understand. You said it from a good place of heart. I understand. You did it because you care about my safety. I appreciate that. But, you know, when I just tell you that it's a stand-up comedy routine, it's a joke, and then you tell me that, take a break if you want. Honestly, me watching anime is the break part. Life is stressful, man. There's a lot of stressful shit that happens in life. Your jobs, your relationships, society, pressuring you to different shit. And then this is my little safe space where I go live and I just fucking yell at a camera, yell into my mic, and just start having beef with fucking random NPCs in anime. This is how I relieve stress. This is how I do it. Alright. It is 4:18. Maybe we'll do like 1 hour of light novel readings. And then maybe we go to Twitch. Or is there anything else I should be watching? No. Let's do this.
5.2 after
Let's do this. 5.2. So everybody's saying Yamauchi's gonna pop off even more next episode, man. Apparently, according to the what's it called? Nice. According to the Basis Upen's cut content, apparently Yamauchi was supposed to have more pop-off scenes the last episode, but we kind of skipped that. Like, he was supposed to go off even more and shit on people. But, I mean, hey, if he starts some shit tomorrow, I'm down. I'm fucking down. Here we go. Loop this shit. That's right. I just wish I could play this theme. I wish I could play this theme during the light novel reading, man. This is my favorite Clouds from the Elite soundtrack, but I can't play it because it's copyright. Is the White Room's pretty good. White Room and this one, Mastermind. Like these are my go-tos, right? Because these are from Enryu covers. So White Room and Mastermind, I think, are probably some of the best soundtracks. But I think that there is something so simple about just this theme that just matches Ayano Koji so well. This part. Wait for it. That part. That's so good. But I can't fucking play it. I can't. Honestly, this part. I love the organ. I love the piano part, the organ part. But then when this part plays, wait for it. When the organs actually come in and it just kind of like, it's like a synthesizer. It just kind of, you know, bring me back my melody. I don't really like this part. I don't really like this part. Like give me back to my regular piano part. Don't like this. Nope. And we're back. I think this would be the perfect theme to play during my light novel readings, because it just feels like this is the soundtrack you play during like monologue scenes, man. At least in my opinion. All right. Let's get back to this.
Finished for the day, we asked Chabashira-sensei to see us in the faculty room. We did this out of consideration for Sigura, because I hadn't been able to discuss it with her fully over the phone yesterday. I waited towards the back of the room for an opportune moment. Kushida was probably going to be able to tell Chabashira-sensei everything that had happened. A witness? For Sadu's case, yes. Sigura-san saw everything from start to finish. Kushida called for Sigura, who stood quietly behind her. She stepped forward,
5.2.
looking slightly nervous. So according to Kushida, you saw the fight between Sadu and the others. Yes, I saw it. It's not that our teacher didn't believe us, but I felt...
But it doesn't matter, because it's a fucking D-class student vouching for another D-class student. It looks so suspicious.
At ease before her skeptical gaze, Sigura, true to her word, slowly gave us the truth. This was the first time that we had heard the full story. None of us, not even the teacher, spoke a single word or even moved until the very end. I understand what you said. However, I can't simply accept what you're telling me. Chabashira-sensei said. I would have thought that, as Class D's homeroom teacher, she would have been delighted to discover a witness from Class D. Kushida,
No, because it's still not hard evidence.
betrayed by this turn of events, was flustered. What do you mean, sensei? She asked Sigura. Why are you testifying now? When I reported the issue during homeroom, you didn't step forward. It's not as though you were absent that day, right? Well, that's... I'm just not good at talking
Hello,
with
Hex.
other people. You're not good at talking with other people. And yet you've decided to testify now? Isn't that strange? Chabashira-sensei started hounding Sigura, as was typical. If Sigura had stepped forward back when she'd first called for witnesses, though, I wondered if Chabashira-sensei would honestly have welcomed it. Sensei, Sigura-san is... I'm speaking to Sigura right now. Chabashira-sensei...
Yo, Chabashira's going on! Yo, Chabashira's fucking going off!
Well, it's because our class is in trouble now, and I thought if I testify, I can help. Sigura hunched and shrank away, much like a frog cornered by a snake. As our teacher, Chabashira-sensei
This is a great Chabashira scene. Fucking go off. Sigura sucks.
should have understood what kind of girl Sigura was. She should have realized that merely by speaking up, Sigura had made great progress. I see. So, then you mustered up the courage to come forward? Yes, I see. Well, if you are a witness, as you say, naturally I'm obligated to relay that information to the school. However, while the school will listen to the whole story, Sadu may not be declared innocent. What do you mean? Are you really the witness, Sigura? That's what I'm getting at. I think that it may be a lie made up by Class D because the students are afraid of receiving a negative evaluation.
A lie.
Chabashira-sensei, that's a horrible thing to say. Horrible? If you...
Maybe she's just saying, like, this is what people will say that we're gonna do. I don't think Chabashira actually thinks that we're lying. It's more like, what do you think the other people are gonna say, man? When you bring up a fucking other student from your own class to defend you.
really had witnessed an event, you should have come forward on the first day. It's...
Well, she was scared though. Isn't that kind of reasonable to assume that, you know, she has to kind of, she's waiting?
Natural to feel suspicious when someone steps up just in the nick of time, considering that the witness is from Class D. It's doubly
Exactly.
suspicious.
It's very suspicious. That's the big thing.
Any reasonable person would have doubts. Don't you think so? Conveniently, a student from the same class happened to be in an infrequently visited building and happened to witness the entire
Just happened to be
event.
there.
Shabashira-sensei had plenty of good points. The fact that Sakura had witnessed the incident was too convenient.
Yeah.
People would obviously have their doubts. If I were a
Like, Chabashira is actually being very helpful right now. Like, she's straight up saying like, yo, what do you think they're gonna say when you come this late with the witness finally, but it's from your own class? Like, what? What? Like, why didn't you say it in the beginning? Because obviously Sakura's a fucking pussy, but still, she's bringing up a lot of good points.
third party, I'd probably think Class D had made this story up, judged
Yep.
impartially. It was only
Yep.
natural to consider this eyewitness testimony weak. However, a witness is a witness. I cannot determine if she's lying. So for the time being, I will accept her testimony. So, Sakura, I will ask for you to join us on the day of deliberation. I understand that you do not like to associate with others, but can you do this? Shabashira-sensei's words shook Sakura, as if she were testing the girl. Sure enough, Sakura, upon imagining this, turned pale and anguished.
Pussy.
If you don't like it, you do have the option to withdraw. Also,
Walk away,
you'll tell
Sakura, you
somebody who'll be
suck.
participating in the deliberation. Are you okay, Sakura-san? Why, yeah. Sakura's reply lacked confidence. In addition to having to give her testimony in front of others, she was also going to have to sit alone with Sadu.
God,
It
she's
seemed
so
a little
weak.
cruel to force her. Do you mind if we participate as well, Sensei? Of course. It was Kashida who spoke up, most likely to support Sakura. If Sadu himself
This is so weird because Suzune did everything, man. Suzune did everything with, you know, Anakoji in the anime during this arc, but it looks like it's all just Kushida and Ichinose, man. Suzune is not present. Suzune just gave up, right? Suzune straight up just gave up in the beginning and said, fuck you, I'm out.
consents, I will approve it. However, we cannot allow that many people. Only a maximum of 2 may sit in on the deliberation. Please think on that carefully. We left the faculty room. Though
How
it
does
felt
Suzune
more
get
like
this
we were being
spot?
kicked out. Afterward, we returned to the classroom and explained everything.
Cause like there's like a legendary scene in the anime where Anakoji like tickles Suzune to get her up, right? And that whole part kind of relates to how like Manabu thinks that Suzune is growing, but technically it's Anakoji doing it. So like, how does Suzune come back to this?
To Haruhita. Well, naturally that was the result. It's to be expected. The situation might be different now, but it's not that huge of a difference, right? I mean, the fact that our witness came from Class D does kind of mean we're out of luck, though. I didn't know if it would comfort Haruhita, but I said it to stick up for Sakura. If we hadn't convinced our eyewitness to come forward, it probably would have been impossible to prove Sadu's innocence. Now then, Kashida-san, it would be best for Ayano-kuji-kun and me to sit in on the deliberation. I fully understand you supporting Sakura-san. However, if it comes to a debate, then that's a different story. Yes, you're right. I don't think I'd be particularly useful in a debate.
Okay,
I considered
Kushida stepping
saying
out.
something about how it would be perfect if Kashida and Haruhita worked together, but thought better of it. It was precisely because they
It
might
wouldn't
not
work
make
out.
the best team that I'd been appointed as a substitute.
Kushida, Suzune, they definitely hate each other, but like, I don't know, part of me feels like if they can get over their current problems in season 3, like, this could be like a deadly combo. You know what I mean? Even if they might hate each other, I feel like those two could be so useful together. Lesbian. Sisters of the Moon, okay? Sisters of the Moon. I feel like they're both cold and cunning, and I don't know, they both can kind of be very useful tools if they would kind of work together.
Closed. Sakura-san, do you mind? No, it's fine. She didn't seem to like this at all. But she also didn't have much choice right now. 5.3. With that settled, we reconvened in the classroom during our lunch to discuss strategy. Haruhita had been reluctant to participate, but thanks to Kashida's persuasive tears, she'd agreed to join. As for the person of interest himself, even if Sadu said he didn't care and compromised, he could easily become obstinate in critical situations. While I thought about how he might become difficult at any time, I kept silent. Can we really prove Sadu's innocence tomorrow? Kashida asked. Of course we will. It's obvious that I was set up. I'm definitely innocent, right? Sadu said. They
Hello, Rio.
simultaneously looked to Haruhita for her opinion. Haruhita simply ate her bread in silence, either because she was unable to answer or because she found discussion to be annoying. Hey, Haruhita, what do you think? Sadu, clearly unable to read the room, drew nearer to Haruhita. Don't bring your dirty face so close to me. It's not dirty.
What the fuck, dude? Don't bring your dirty face so close to me. I swear to God, like, Just the last volume before all this shit went down, we made up. You know, they had a whole drama about Suzume calling Sadu out on your bullshit basketball games. You're gonna be a fucking D-rank player playing in fucking China, barely able to make money. And then she's like, you know what, Sadu? You know what, Sadu? I respect you. I think what you're doing is amazing. Good job. And now all of a sudden we're back to here. It's like, get your dirty face out of my fucking face.
Sadu was shaking. Maybe he was hurt by that unexpected jab. I
Ouch.
can't help but be mystified
Bro,
by
that is not a jab. That's a fucking right hook sucker punch out of nowhere.
your belief that your innocence can easily be proven. Although you've gained evidence that works in your favor, you're still in a very disadvantageous situation. But we have a witness who knows I'm innocent, and the other guys were real jerks in the past. That should be enough, right?
No, it's
Those
not
guys
enough.
Are bad news. Sadu, completely blind to his
It's he says, she says at this point. There's nothing that can happen. Like, it just looks so bad for you. You need fucking absolute proof.
own shortcomings, arrogantly crossed his legs and nodded in agreement with himself.
This is cope.
Hey, wait a second. I'm still reading that. Give it back. It's fine, isn't it? I paid for half of it. Anyway, I'll give it back later. Ike and Yamoki scrambled over a weekly manga magazine. I guess they'd been quietly reading manga while
Wonder
we
what
had
they
that
read.
important meeting. Considering their bitter tears over having absolutely no points at all, I found it kind of amazing that they still
How did they get the manga without no points?
managed to buy a magazine each week.
How'd you do it?
Kushida, seated beside me as the Ike.
Each week, where are they getting the money for the manga? Are they stealing it?
Yamoki's spectacle unfolded, appeared deep in thought. Perhaps, she murmured. What's up? I asked. Nothing. It's nothing. There was just something on my mind. I didn't understand what she was getting at, but Kushida pulled out her phone and began looking up something. 5.4. After returning to my
That was a
dorm,
short chapter.
I lay in my bed and absent-mindedly watched TV. My mind was kind of a blank, as I let myself relax. Then, I got an email from Sakura. If I was absent from school tomorrow, what do you think would happen? What do you...
No. This is after the first month. These are weekly manga they keep buying each week after week. How do they do it? Unless there's like a subscription service that paid in the front. I don't know. How did they get the money for this shit? Sussy.
You mean? Even though my reply had been short, I waited a while for her response. What are you doing right now? That was her answer. I replied that I was in my room by myself. If it's okay with you, could we meet right now? I'm in room 1106. If you could keep this a secret from everyone, that would really help me out. I received 2 messages from her in quick succession. It was more like texting than email. What exactly was she getting at? I wondered. I thought about asking her why, but then stopped typing. If I bungled this, she might
might not be able to
messaging
go.
me, but it would probably get more difficult to pay her a visit. I had the gut feeling that it would be better for us to meet directly, so I started
I think it's just horny Koji that wants to just get into a girl's room.
rewriting my response. I'll head over there in about 5 minutes. After sending my reply, I reached for my coat, but stopped. Since we were in the same dorm, going out with just a jersey on was probably fine. I headed towards Sakura's room, the upper level. In other words, where the girls lived. This was my first time setting foot there.
Where the
school
girls
didn't
lived.
necessarily prohibit boys from entering. Even if someone saw me going there, it wouldn't be a problem. In fact, the popular guys often headed up there to hang out and have
Like
fun,
Hirata?
although we were allowed a relative degree of freedom.
Yamauchi and Ike definitely never ever have been up there.
Entry was prohibited after 8 p.m. Naturally, going to the girls' floor in the middle of the night was prohibited. I pushed the elevator's call button. When the doors slid open, Horikito was standing there.
Uh-oh.
What horrible timing.
Uh-oh.
For some
Ignore
reason,
her.
I was completely unable to move. I just stood there. Was this good luck or bad?
Petrified.
In the case of bumping into an acquaintance, I had to wonder. What? You're not getting on? She asked while she stared
Not with
at me.
you.
She tried to close the doors. Yeah, I'm getting on. While I felt like this was probably a bad idea, I hopped in and pushed the button for
Don't
the
talk
11th
to her.
floor.
Don't talk
I
to
saw
her.
that the button for the 13th floor was also lit. That must have been Horikito's
She lives
floor.
there,
For
yep,
some
13.
reason, I got this
Unlucky number 13.
strange feeling that she was watching me from behind. Heading home late tonight, huh? I asked, without looking at her. The silence was unbearable. I was out shopping. Did you not see? I heard the rustle of vinyl bags. That reminds me. You cook for yourself, don't you? It felt like the elevator was going more slowly than usual. We were still only on
This is the most awkward elevator ride ever.
the 6th floor. Being stealthily invited over by a girl was a stressful situation. My unease meant I had to say something. This isn't the 10th floor. Is that okay? Why in the world was she asking me about the 10th floor? What was her
What was the 10th floor? What's there?
intention? For someone who dislikes trouble, you've been extremely proactive in involving yourself with this case. Or perhaps you have ulterior motives. Horikito was clearly probing. If you have something to say, why not come out and say it? You're going to meet with Sakura-san, aren't you? She asked.
How'd you know?
No, I'm not. I immediately denied it, but
It's quite the
wondered if
guess.
Holokita could see the truth. Well, I suppose where you go is none of my business. In that case, don't ask me about it. Well, that was what I wanted to say, but I spoke the words only in my head. After a long time, we finally arrived at the 11th floor in complete silence. I stepped off the elevator,
thank
trying
God.
to remain calm. I
Don't
didn't
say
look
anything to
back.
her.
Pardon me for intruding, I said at Sigura's door. Come on in.
We just ignored Susan. We just fucking got off the elevator. Bye.
She greeted me wearing casual clothes. So,
Wait. Light novel illustration time? Wait, volunteer illustrations? Sigura, where are you at? Sigura? No, I don't think this is the one. I don't think so. And I don't think this is the one either. I don't think we've had a scene where Susanne was being like this just yet. She looks dumbfounded. I don't think we're there yet. The last one we had was this one. So maybe we're not really there yet. What does this say? Is there a specific chapter? Fair use rationale. Is there like a specific chapter of when like this is used? Like 5 point something, you know? I guess it doesn't show it. Who knows? But we're not here yet. I don't think she's greeting us looking like this just yet. I don't think so. And I don't think we've really gotten here yet. I'm not really sure.
what did you need from me? Ayano-kuji-kun. Do you remember what you said before? You said I wasn't obligated to step forward, even though I was the witness. You also said it was meaningless to force me to testify. That was back when I'd met Sigura by accident. I gave a slight nod. I just don't have any self-confidence after all. Is this about speaking in front of other people? I've been terrible at it for so long. I'm not good at speaking in front of others. If I'm asked to testify in front of the teachers tomorrow, I don't think I'll have the confidence
You're
to answer
useless.
properly. So you're considering taking the day off from school? Sigura gave a slight nod before collapsing and laying her forehead onto the table. Geez, why am I so completely useless? She shrank into herself, clearly ashamed.
I feel bad. She is useless though. Fuck, I feel kind of bad, but I no pity, fuck you.
It was the first time I'd seen her like that. Sigura, you're surprisingly high-strung, huh? I felt the gap between the person I saw now and her usual behavior. I was a little taken aback.
Oh, her mask is coming off?
Rather, I was shocked, huh? Sigura, realizing she'd let me see this side of her, blushed and shook her head. No, I'm not like that at all. So she
No.
could be animated. I had no idea, considering her usually depressed look. Hey, can I ask you just one thing? Why did you call me? Kushida or somebody else would have been friendlier, easier to talk to.
I think that Anakoji's easier to get along with, because he's also kind of just like socially awkward. Kushida and Susanne and everyone else are just kind of right at your face. Even though Kushida's all nice, like Sakura needs that that space. Kushida's too much. I feel like Anakoji is like, she finds comfort in him.
That's because I'm not afraid of your eyes, Ayano-kuji.
I'm not afraid of your eyes? Are you sure? Do we have a picture of Anakoji here? Do we have a picture of Anakoji? I feel like Anakoji's eyes are fucking terrifying. I feel like... I don't know. Like, this is not the guy you tell, like, oh my goodness, your eyes are so comforting and sweet and nice. I see a fucking sociopath. I see a cold-blooded killer. Exactly. Here. Our classic Anakoji tool speech to Susanne. Like, look at his eyes. Look at his eyes there, dude.
仲間だと思ったことはない。
Not you.
お前も
Not
岸田
Kushida.
も
Not Sakura.
Hirata.
Not Hirata. Not
全ての
anyone.
人
Like, you think these eyes are nice? You're fucking insane.
Chikan, huh? What did that mean? I certainly didn't have scary eyes or anything, but if you're looking for someone to talk to, Kushida is a much warmer, more outgoing person. She has a lot of friends, too.
No, she fake.
No, I don't mean the eyes that you've seen me with. I mean the pupils, way back in the eyes. If you look someone deep
What?
in their eyes, you'll understand. I'm sorry, I can't really explain
What?
it well. So, was it like insight?
Kushida's got fake eyes. Anakoji's got real eyes. Is that what she's implying? Something about the pupils? I think it's more about like the vibe that people give off, right? Because like Kushida, she's fake, and I think that Sakura in the anime could even tell that she's fake, right? But Koji's like, I mean, Koji's also kind of fake too. Well, I don't know. It's not as different. I don't know. They both don't have good eyes.
Into a person's true self? When someone looked at me, Would they see that I was insubstantial and lack ambition? This was kind of complicated. Well, it's just when I see a man. Even if he seems kind. I suddenly get afraid. Perhaps
What?
that came with a woman's point of view.
If I see a man and he's kind of kind, I'm kind of afraid?
It might have been natural for her to be uncomfortable around men,
I guess it's cause like the creepy fans and shit.
but
Even like the cashier, the clerk at the electronics shop, right?
Siguro had an abnormally terrified expression. Speaking of which, I recalled the day we'd gone to get her digital camera repaired. It was certainly true that men
The
and
creep.
women generally differed in physical strength and stamina. However, some girls were overly mindful of that fact, and lived in abnormal degrees of fear. I wondered if something had happened in Siguro's past to cause her intense fear of men. Why the heck was I arbitrarily analyzing her? I felt a little disgusted with myself. As
What?
usual, I know it would be a good to simply
You
say
felt
what it was I
disgusted?
saw. But no matter what I do, I can't seem to imagine it. How can I speak that assertively? She was so worried that she'd asked a student like me for help. She'd probably been agonizing over it for the past few days. Even with a helping hand from me, she appeared to be suffering. If you want to quit, would you like me to talk? You're not going to get mad? I told you before, didn't I? If we forced you to testify, it would be meaningless. Siguro
Yeah.
was an invaluable witness,
She can't do it.
but her evidence wasn't automatically reliable. She might not have any influence on the outcome. However, if she were absent, Sudi might get angry. I should probably try to coax her into participating, but I had no idea how to do it. What do you think would be best to do, Anokuchi-kun? I think you should do what you want, Siguro. She probably wanted more concrete guidance, but unfortunately this was the best I could do. I wasn't an outstanding person, and certainly not qualified to guide anyone. I wasn't suited for the job. I see. Well, I suppose
Outstanding person, guide anyone. I feel like he does have, like he could totally like manipulate her to like say the things that she wanted to say, right?
it's probably bothersome to ask you for help like that. I'm just no good. It's probably why I can't even make a single friend myself.
No, you.
Siguro shrugged and
Who said that? I think Anakoja said that. Maybe Siguro said
smiled
that.
bitterly. She seemed disgusted with herself.
Yeah, I think
Siguro,
it's Sakura.
I
Yeah,
think you'll be able to make friends with someone in no time. I'm sorry, I don't know
not me though. I don't want to be your friend. You're useless.
how to best say what I feel. You seem to get along really well with a lot of people. Anokuchi-kun. I'm a bit envious. No,
We have Ike, Yamauki, Sadu. Suzune is just a fucking acquaintance. Gashida is fucking just blackmailing us. What other friends do we have? Hirata? Kind of, not really. We got Ichinose.
I don't. Apparently Siguro believed that I had many friends and lots of fun. It might be presumptuous for me to say this, but I think that we're like friends. We are, I said. Siguro and I stared at each other.
Oh, we're friends?
Really? She whispered.
We
"If you
are?
don't think so, Siguro. Then that's different. No, it does make me happy to hear you say that, replied Siguro, while still looking somewhat perplexed. I began to realize that if people didn't talk face to face, they wouldn't get a feel for what the other person was really like. I was surprised by the discovery of Siguro's unexpected.
Yamauki is very useful. Yamauki puts in the work. Now, that work might sometimes backfire on us. But at least Yamauki is in the game. Sugura fucking sits on the bench. She's the worst, dude.
Side. If she let this part of her out more, she'd probably make friends right away. Honestly, even a minor adjustment would do wonders. But for her, I supposed making even a minor adjustment would be difficult. What might seem trivial to one person could be quite difficult for
And here's the thing, what might seem trivial to one person could be quite difficult for another, and this is me being unfair to her. Because like to me, I feel like all her problems are so bullshit, and that she's a weak piece of shit, and I have no pity for her. But then you have to think about it. Not everyone is a fucking abrasive, aggressive monkey like me. There are very delicate, soft flowers that you need to give them patience and time to develop and bloom. But unfortunately, I just can't relate. I can't empathize. So I'm just mad. Because I'm like, you're better than this. Fucking step up and fucking be better. But like people, I'm being Suzune right now. I'm being Suzune right now. I'm being very mean, and these negative reinforcements not gonna work out. But that's just me, man. Fuck. She's so useless. Fuck.
another, depending on their issues. Thank you for coming to see me today, Siguro said. It's no big deal. You can call me anytime. If I could ease Siguro's burdens even slightly, then it was worth it. I'd leave it up to Siguro herself to decide whether or not she'd
Cigarettes.
come to school tomorrow. Thinking that our conversation was over, I stood and started to leave, but Siguro looked like she still wasn't feeling well. Do
Oh?
you have any plans for tonight? For right now? I asked. Right now? No, I don't have anything planned.
Hold
Or
up.
rather, I didn't make any plans. Even I felt a little sad when I heard someone say that. Well, why not go out with me for a while? If it's not a
Date?
bother. Of course, I decided to be daring and invite Sakura. She
We're going on a date?
almost like she had forgotten the time and realized she had to be somewhere important. She looked like she couldn't understand what I'd meant. Then, without any hesitation, she shot up out of her seat.
Oh?
As she leapt up, she banged her knees against the table
Ah!
and doubled over in agony. Her
This bitch is so awkward. She got startled by that invitation. She got up. She hit her fucking knee. Oh no, everything, the water splashed on the ground.
glasses flew off her face. That looked like it really hurt just now. Are you okay?
Glasses are off
I
though.
asked. I'm perfectly fine.
But if the glasses are off, you can see her real face. You know? Her real face. I wonder if we're going somewhere with that. Maybe.
She wasn't very convincing. The pain was so intense that she was on the
Rub
verge
it.
of tears.
Rub her
I
knees.
picked up her glasses just as I'd thought. There were no lenses. I handed her glasses back.
Oh.
Her hands trembled.
Just as I thought, there were no lenses. Fake glasses. To make her look kind of, you know, nerdy? To make her look less attractive? Is that her strategy?
When she took them, and she thanked me.
Well, here again, Sakura is actually agreeing with me that waifus with glasses are inferior than waifus without glasses. Use the same girl and remove the glasses and I think they become a lot more attractive. Now, I'm being mean. Everybody doesn't feel the same way. Some people love the glasses on characters. Fuck me for wanting a partner with good eyesight so I can preserve good genetics to my offspring. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm fucking sorry. Even Sakura is fucking admitting it right now that the glasses look bad.
Sakura wrestled with her pain for about a minute before she finally calmed down and quieted. Where do you want to go? She asked. She was on her guard, but I didn't understand why. Maybe she believed I was some kind of pickup artist trying to smooth talk her. If
No.
that were the case, it was bad. I haven't really decided. Just kind of felt like wandering around, you know? But I hate being in hot places. Sakura responded cautiously,
Hot places, more weather, temperature. What's going on with this thing, man?
as if worried about what to say. If you don't mind, there is some place I'd like to go. Is that all right? Huh? Yeah, sure. I don't mind. Please lead the way. I didn't really care about the location. I just wanted to get a change of scenery and talk. If Sakura had a place she preferred, then everything would be going according to plan. 5.5.
Where we
Sakura
going?
took me to the place she wanted to visit. I
Where we
must
going?
admit, I hadn't expected the location. We went to a part of the building used specifically for club activities, located away from the school. She
Special
guided me
building?
around a building that had a pronounced Japanese flair, one that hosted things like the archery club and the tea ceremony club. From a short distance away, we could hear the sound of arrows being fired. You're not doing any club activities, right? I'm not, but I've wanted to come here at least once. I'd stand out if I came by myself. So, if you hung around
Oh.
here on your own, people would think you were interested in joining their club.
This is a little nice moment. Unfortunately, I don't think there's an illustration for this, but okay, they're kind of hanging out.
However, if a couple came together, then people would just assume they were on a date. Why did you ask me to come out? Anyway, she asked. Why? It's kind of hard to answer when you ask me like that. I was worried about how everything would go tomorrow, but even if I said something, I'd still feel uneasy. I asked you because I thought it would be good to get a change of scenery, I suppose. I mean, I'm kind of a loner, so I usually just stay in my room. I have a tendency to hang back all the time. Sakura looked somewhat unconvinced by my roundabout answer. Anokuji-kun, don't you have lots of friends? I do.
No,
Like who?
not really.
Haruka-san, Kashida-san,
No,
Aika,
no.
Sadu-kun.
No, Suzune stabs us. Kushida literally backstabs us. Sadu, Ike, and Yamauki, idiot trio.
Morki-kun. She listed their names while counting them.
That's
on
not
her
really
fingers.
good.
Well, they're just for show. No, you're right. A friend
They are just for show. They actually are. I don't think there's a genuine friendship there.
is a friend. I guess what I mean is, I feel like that's all we are. I feel like I'm still kind of standing outside the group.
Yeah,
and
they're still acquaintances. We're kind of like friends by association. Like, I don't think we would hang out 1v1.
looking in. Do you think we get all along? Sakura nodded without hesitation. If she said so, perhaps it was true. I guess I just didn't understand myself. I don't know how to make friends at all. I'm envious.
Yeah, I
You were
noticed.
the first person to call me a friend. What about Kashida? Wasn't she the first person who invited you out? Sheepishly, Siguro gave a self-deprecating smile. Yeah, I should apologize to Kushida-san sometime. She was the first one to call and invite me
Nah,
out
she's a snake.
because I didn't have the courage. I actually wanted to hang out with her. I just couldn't answer her. No matter what I did, I'm so pathetic.
Yeah,
If
you are
were good at
pathetic.
making conversation with other people, you'd have an easier time of it. I was once again impressed by Horikita's ability to make fun of Ike and Yamoki while also dealing naturally with complete strangers. That was a splendid talent. Can I give you one bit of advice for tomorrow? I didn't intend to give her empty encouragement like do your best.
What is
Siguro
it
should
then?
face tomorrow entirely as herself. For Sadu, for Kushida, for your classmates. Throw all of those thoughts away. Huh? Throw them all away. When you testify tomorrow, speak for yourself. As someone who tells the truth of what she saw, as a witness,
Okay.
it was good for a self-reliant person to try doing something for other people.
Good
However,
advice.
Siguro still couldn't properly take care of herself. She had a tendency to wrap herself up and endure pain, sorrow, and suffering alone. If you weren't happy yourself, then you couldn't make others happy either. Tell the truth for your own sake. Do that, and Sadu will be saved. That's enough. I didn't know how effective my advice
I don't think that's enough though, right? Because don't we do some extra shit in the anime with the cameras and the bluff?
would be. It probably was meaningless blather, actually, but perhaps it was right to encourage Siguro to speak for herself. Maybe I did it because I understood how it felt to be wanted, because I needed someone to know I understood the pain and anguish of battling loneliness. Thank you, Ayano Kuchi-kun.
Almost like sympathizing and like relating to another loner.
Hopefully, my words had found purchase somewhere in Siguro's heart. 5.6. That night, under Kushida's orders, everyone except for Sadu gathered in my room. Apparently Kushida had
Again.
even invited Horikita, but
Horikita's not showing up.
it seemed she didn't want to
Hell
join
no.
us. So, has there been any progress? Kushida-chan, there has been progress, yes, but I've also noticed something incredible. Ayano Kuchi-kun, can I borrow your computer for a minute? Sure, I answered with a nod. Kushida went to my desktop
Good evening.
computer, booted it up, and opened the internet browser. Okay, have a look at this. Kushida accessed what appeared to be somebody's blog. It
Wait.
was rather elaborate, too. Unlike some normal person's website,
Wait.
it had the sheen and polish of a
OnlyFans. Sakura's OnlyFans.
fully fledged business. Wait, is that a picture of Shizuku? Shizuku, she's a gravure idol. She
Shizuku's summer has come, and so have I. Here it is. Here it is.
was just featured in a young men's magazine. There were many pictures of her. I certainly couldn't complain about her looks or proportions. Do you reckon?
About her looks or proportions. This is some Clark Kent bullshit. How do you not recognize her? Just the glasses? It's the same fucking hair. It's ridiculous.
Her? Kushida asked. Am I supposed to recognize
She's not even wearing a fucking wig. It's just same hair. No glasses.
her? Look closely. Kushida clicked on a picture of Shizuku's face. Ike took a long hard look at her, and then, she
Yeah, EK definitely took a long, hard look.
is cute. No, not that. This is Siguro-san, isn't it? Kushida-chan.
Yeah, it is.
Who are you talking about? Siguro-san. From our class. Huh? No way. No way. Siguro-san? No.
Mhm.
No. No.
Mhm.
There's no way that's true. Ike laughed, but Yamoki's expression stiffened. Hey, Ike.
What do you mean?
You know, when I actually get a good look at her, I don't think she probably
Yamoki has decided to latch on to Sigura now.
does look a little like Siguro, but she's not wearing glasses, right? And her hair is different. Those are simplistic ways to identify somebody. Although I hadn't made the connection at first, I realized that this was definitely Siguro. It seemed like Ike still couldn't believe it, though. He was still scrambling in confusion while looking.
Is it that hard to believe? I don't. You have like this girl. I'm sorry, I don't stand out much. Good morning. Shut the fuck up, bitch. You plain girl. That's her. Same hair. Well, I guess the twin tails is higher up here compared to here where it's like split the lower ends. I don't know, man.
At the screen, so Siguro is Shizuku. That's a lie, right? I mean, sure, there's a slight resemblance, but they're different people. I mean, look how crazy bright and happy Shizuku is, right? Come
Her
on,
real
say
face.
Ayano Kuji. All of the pictures she'd uploaded were cute, so she seemed accustomed to taking selfies.
Yeah?
However, I glimpsed one piece of
Selfies?
incontrovertible evidence that proved Siguro and the idol Shizuku are one and the same. No, Kushida
Her
is
face, her
definitely right.
hair.
That's Siguro. Here, I pointed to one of the pictures. You can barely see it, but the door to her dorm room is in this picture. It
Oh,
looks
leaked.
like the same as the doors in our
Leaked.
dorm. In other words, it was likely she'd taken that picture at school. Okay, so
Haha, she's taking some nudes at the school. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is it this? I think this is finally the illustration, right? Because this is the door they're alluding to? I think so. I think so. I think this is the... So we did already have the Susan illustration before. Wonder what this scene was about. What scene was this? I don't even know.
Uru is Shizuku after all. I still don't understand the point. Good job noticing this, Kushida. I meant it. Even though there was a clear resemblance, I wouldn't have noticed without Kushida drawing our attention to it.
How did
When I
Kushida even
saw
find
Aikan
this?
reading that weekly magazine, I remembered something. I had the feeling I'd seen Sigura somewhere before. Kushida said, "Oh my god, there's a gravure idol in our class." I'm so turned on. Ike exclaimed enthusiastically,
He can't
unable to
relax!
hide his excitement after such an undignified reaction. I imagine
Unable to hide his fucking boner either.
Kushida would want to pull away from him, although she
I'm starting to realize all the fucking great moments from this light novel comes from Ike and Yamoki. Straight up, Ike, Yamoki, Sadu, them doing dumb shit is like the funniest parts. Like one of the most entertaining parts about this show is these fucking idiots. You know, it's that or whenever Anakoji does some crazy shit you never would have thought about. But like, for the most part, Ike and Yamoki are kind of hard carrying this early game, man.
She was kind to an almost reckless degree. I couldn't sense that kind of acceptance from her now, but just when Shizuku started to become really popular, she suddenly disappeared. She lived a double life as an idol and a quiet, inconspicuous student at our school. Why had she wanted to create another life?
I don't
It was
know.
like a coin with two very different sides. As 9 p.m. approached, it was just about time for our group to split.
Because she probably is like that soft, nervous girl. But she also has like a bubbly side through that like... It's like an alter ego. And, you know, this is like a great outlet. Like, having that idol, you know, persona. It's like a... It's basically an alt account, you know? It's just an alt account. You can kind of like release stress there. You can just do whatever you want that you normally can't. I think it makes sense.
Up for the night, I saw them all off at my door. Kushida, I still have something I want to talk to you about. Can you stick around for a little bit? Something
Oh.
to talk about? Sure. Hey, Ayano Kuji, what do you need to talk to her about? Huh? Don't tell me it's... I dismissed Ike's fears with a wave of my hand. But even
No, it's not
after
what
I
you're
said
thinking.
we were just going to talk about Sigura, Ike got really close and whispered into my ear that he didn't
What?
believe me. If you do confess your feelings to her, I won't forgive you. You know
Implying you have a shot, bro. Implying you can fucking do it. You can go do it right now. Ask her right now.
that, right? You don't need to be so paranoid. Like heck I was going to do that. Besides, even if I did, I'd get destroyed in 1 second. Seriously, if you're that worried about
He wouldn't though, because Sigura is well, maybe we're not just there yet, but after this arc, Sigura just super simps for Anakoji.
it, then wait in the hallway. We'll be done in a minute. Ike immediately agreed to wait. He struck a pose and stretched himself to his full height, parking himself
Full height of what, 5'4"?
in the hallway right outside my door. After the guys had left, I started to tell Kushida about the conversation
Gushi Day, that's a new one. Kushida, Gushi Day.
I'd had with Sigura the day. Oh yeah, so, about Sigura-san, I was surprised when I found out that she was an idol, but I also kind of understood it. I wonder if that's her real personality, though I'd avoided just stating this idea outright. I also thought that Sigura had a hidden side, just like Kushida. However, Kushida, who had a different understanding of the facts, had come to an entirely different conclusion. I think that most likely, Sigura-san would say that her idol self is actually her false face. Well,
Maybe
I
it's
guess
her real
saying that
face.
it's false isn't right, either. I think
Maybe
that she's
both are
creating
real.
Another personality.
I think both are real. It's just that she feels awkward to showcase both of them in the one account. So she separated the two accounts.
With makeup. So, in other words, it's a persona. Yeah, I think with the right
Yeah, she should have done the VTuber stuff, man. She shoulda.
pretenses in place, Sigura-san could even make herself smile in front of people. Kushida sounded rather persuasive. There was something true about her words. But at that moment, I began to think about what Kushida had been trying to tell me during our last phone call. Hey, back when we were talking on the phone, what was it you wanted to tell me? Kushida's shoulders twitched slightly in response. It was
Oh?
like she hadn't remembered it until just now. I'll tell
What was
you
it?
later. Right now, our priority is to
Huh?
resolve this case. Besides, it's a personal request. A personal request? I found her wording enticing, but it seemed like Kushida needed help with something. I didn't really
Like
stand
what?
out in any way. I couldn't provide something that Kushida lacked. She could study, and she had ambition. I'm sorry, if I told you now, it'd just be a bother. She smiled bitterly and clasped her hands together in apology. Well, if things with Sadu turn out okay, could you tell me then? Yes, that it would be fine. She turned and grabbed the door handle. However, she suddenly stopped, and remained perfectly still for a short while. Looking at
Oh?
her back, I had no idea what kind of expression she wore. Kushida, something seemed a little off. After I said her name, Kushida turned and closed the distance between us.
Uh-oh.
She stood on tiptoe, her heels lifting off
Uh-oh.
the ground as she put her hand on my chest and brought her mouth close to my ear.
What the fuck? What the fuck is she doing right now? Is there a light novel scene for this? Illustration? No illustration right now. I don't think so. But she's getting real close. What the fuck?
If you listen to my request, Ayanokuji-kun. I'll give you my most precious possession. It was like the whisperings of a witch, as if
My most prized possession. The fuck? Is she offering to give us her panties?
a sweet, yet potentially deadly fragrance had taken hold of my heart. I couldn't tell whether Kushida's smile was genuine or bitter as she whispered in my ear. The only
What?
thing that I knew for certain was that Kushida was no angel. As far as
She's
she
a
was
devil.
concerned, I didn't know how to feel. Most
She's a
people
fallen
had different
angel.
sides to them, but in her case it was more pronounced, as if another person lived inside of her.
It is another person. It's like the moon and the sun. She's fucking crazy. She's fucking Dr. Jekyll and Hyde.
This Kushida was just kind of creepy. I couldn't tell at all what her game was, what she was thinking, or what she wanted to do. I couldn't even tell where the girl called Kushida Kikiu had gone. The change was so stark that I even found myself wondering if she had a split personality. The gap was that huge. When she drew away again, I saw that Kushida had returned to being the girl with the gentle smile. When she opened
Damn, that's cut content, man. That never happened in the anime. She went back to her real self and then she fucking said that. And then, so her most prized possession, if you help me with this request, but we don't even know what the request is.
the door, she called to Ike, who had been waiting impatiently outside. Not even the faintest trace of that frightening Kushida remained. 5.7.
It's that immediate change from evil Kushida and then like nice Kushida.
After everyone left, I sat in front of my computer and looked at Sakura Aries. I mean, the gravure idol she
Sugar Aries. Airi. Sakura Airi. Okay.
Zaku's blog. As I read through the past entries, I saw that she had started blogging about 2 years ago, precisely around the time that Sakura started working as a gravure idol. Her hopes and aspirations for the future were spelled out in writing. I didn't
Okay.
see anything that especially stuck out. No red flags. I checked out other idol blogs just for reference, but they seemed similar. I had to wonder, how would it have felt for a second-year junior high student to debut in the entertainment world? During 1 year, she'd updated the blog almost every single day. She wrote about what
She on
happened
that
that day and her
grind.
thoughts. She also responded to almost every single comment from her
Worst decision ever. Never replied to comments, bro. Especially hate comments. You can like acknowledge nice comments, people showing support. But as soon as like people start hating on you and you start arguing in hopes that you can like change them, you've already lost the battle. You're wasting your time. And if you do that, it kind of shows to other people that you are likely to get a reaction if you start hating. But then other people start sniffing the blood in the water and also kind of dogpile at the same time. So I think this has happened to Wings of Redemption. I mean, that's pretty much what's called like a lol cow, right? A lol cow. Do you know what that is, guys? You guys know what a lol cow is in chat? Is anyone smart enough to explain to me what a lol cow is? Y'all don't know what a lol cow is? Straight up? So basically a lol cow is a term used for content creators, streamers, YouTube channels. You don't have to be a streamer. It can be, it doesn't have to be content creator either, honestly, but it's mostly used in this space. But basically a lol cow is somebody that you can say hate on and they're easy to bait. They're easy to like elicit a reaction. They'll reply to the hate comments and they'll try to fight back. That's a lol cow. It's literally lol livestock. Like they're laughing at you as a livestock. Like basically I'm like a livestock and you guys are just like trying to elicit a response by saying like mean shit. And the more that the content creator kind of loses control of that over that and continues to give in, the more of like a lol cow they are. Doesn't that create more content? It's a double-edged sword. The content is now rooted in hatred, not of support. That does not go anywhere. That's not sustainable. That's easy views. Because you're basically farming the drama, but it's like, that's the extent of your content. People aren't watching you for, let's say, the content you create. People are watching you to elicit a negative reaction from you now, right? That's a very double-edged sword. It's very short-sighted. And maybe in the beginning, it'll be good, but you don't have fans anymore. It's just a bunch of people just trying to shit on you and trying to get a negative reaction. That's what a lol cow is. I think like Boogie, what's his name? Boogie441 or some shit Wings of Redemption. There's a lot of content creators that doesn't know how to deal with hatred. There's a lot of content creators that feel like whenever someone says some shit, right? Like for example, today someone commented on my spider video saying, where is it? Today, someone commented on this spider video saying like, I said that Hugo is absolute trash, right? And one person was like, you're also trash just like Hugo. I hate the way you pause the reaction. So it's basically a kid that wants to watch the anime, but I keep pausing to talk and they don't realize that I'm doing a reaction. They get upset and basically they start saying shit like that. So at that moment, what do? Should I then go and try to argue with this kid and explain to him, hey, the whole point of this is an anime reaction. You're here for my opinions and my takes and how I react to certain moments in the anime. So like, if you don't want me to pause, you should just watch the anime by yourself. Like, me explaining to this kid is not gonna do anything, right? The best thing I can do is just read the first couple words, see if it's like a good or bad comment. If it's a bad comment, if it's like slightly annoys me, instant block, right? But what I noticed, especially on TikTok, because obviously I get a lot more views on TikTok, is like a lot more hate comments come in and I try to like fight back. Most of the times when I fight back, I get actually community guideline striked because what I say is like too mean and TikTok moderation is pretty harsh. So like, I said to this one guy like, the fact that you can't even make the connection between point A and point B proves you're just self-reporting that you have room temperature IQ. But like, I can't say it like that, you know? So like TikTok kind of like says like, hey, you're being too mean. Stop. And anyways, what I noticed is that like, there has never been a situation where people came at me with hate. There has never been a situation where people came at me with hate comments and for me to turn their opinion around by replying to them. Never has there ever been a situation where that happened. What ultimately happens is just a shit fest between me and the hate person, just replying back to each other, saying nasty shit to each other. Waste of time. Literally fucking waste of time. I could have used that time to make better content. So now, whenever I see something, I just instantly block and move on. So, yeah. Where am I going on with? Lolcow is basically the definition of a content creator that is easy to provoke and easy to get negative reactions from, and you can, and they constantly just reply to this hate. That's it, because they don't know how to like maintain themselves. And this is why I like meme about calling you guys monkeys. I'm not calling you an individual a monkey. You guys are all human individuals with your own ambitions and dreams. You know, you guys are all normal people. You have your own different things going on. But when I refer to you guys as monkeys, I am basically saying that because when I read a comment, a hate comment, and instead of internalizing the comment and reading it from my own perspective and thinking that this is the logical, rational thoughts of an adult, it's actually like a 10-year-old kid behind a screen. Right? And that's where people can't really understand how to separate the hate and like the fact that this is a dumb kid that has no idea what they're talking about. So what I do to guard myself is I just say, you guys are fucking monkeys. You're absolute baboons. And don't worry, I am the monkey king leading us monkeys. But if I assume that you guys are monkeys right off the bat, no comment can hurt me. Right? If a dog is barking on the side of the street, do I then go to that dog and argue with it? No, it's a fucking dog. You just move on, right? But the difference between a dog and the people that leave hate comments and shit like that is that at least I can pet the dog, right? At least that has some utility. Anyways, I'm getting off topic right now. You guys are all monkeys, and I'm the monkey king. Let's get back to it.
Our fans, but just as I'd expected, she stopped.
Not gonna lie, Geto is kind of gone because Not Geto has taken over. And he's no longer talking about monkeys anymore. So someone has to step up and pick up his philosophy. I'm there for him.
Applying after being accepted to this school, she had strictly adhered to the rule about contacting anyone outside the school. Although she wasn't really the direct center of attention, Sakura seemed more popular than I had imagined. She had over 5,000 followers.
Damn!
Many of them were fans that wanted her to return to doing
5K on Twitter
soon, or asked if she had any plans to appear on television. Among those many comments, a post from 3 months ago snagged my attention. Do you believe in fate? I do. I believe we will be together forever. That had been the only
Oh, we're going to Oshinoko territory right now. That's a fan. That's a super fan saying, do you believe in fate? I believe we'll be together forever. I'm gonna find you.
It would have been the delusional fantasy of a man,
Oh,
but there was more
God.
every day, and it escalated quickly. I can always
This is why you gotta block that shit and move on. Don't let it fester. Like, you see a hate comment, like if someone talks shit in my chat, if someone talks shit in my YouTube comment section, I don't fuck around because it's wasted time. You cut that shit off and move on and focus on the content, because the more you focus on the drama and the hate and like complain about it, the more people realize that you're a fucking pussy. Stop crying, bitch. Just give me the fucking anime reactions. We're here to laugh.
feel you close to me. You were even cuter today, huh?
Oh, God.
Did you notice when our eyes met? I noticed. If Sigura saw this, those words
When did our eyes meet?
would probably frighten her. It was almost as if the poster wanted to be physically close to Shizuku so he could whisper these words into her ear.
Is that the cashier from the electronics shop? Does he already know? Is that why he's saying this shit?
They just delusions. Within this heavily restricted school, only a very limited number of people could encounter Sigura.
I think it is the electronic guy. So he already knew from the beginning. I forget. I forgot a lot of the Sakura arc in season 1 because I skipped that shit during the rewatch because I'm like, I don't care. But I guess he already knew. He always knew, huh?
Students, teachers, or anyone who did business with the school. I flashed on a memory of the man who worked at the campus electronics store. Then, a post from last Sunday caused my hair to stand on end. I had a crushing realization. Look, God is real after all. Sigura had bought a digital camera after she enrolled in school. Of course, she'd probably disguised herself that day, just like any celebrity would. But while a disguise like that would make sense for her to use with fans, that Clark had recognized who Sigura
Yeah,
was. Of course,
that
there were
cleric.
only a few ways that they could have contact at that point. However, after Sigura's camera broke, he saw her. Since she loved it so, she had to fix it. Given our circumstances, it was nearly impossible for someone in Class D to buy a new one. However,
We're too
because she took
broke.
it in for repair, there was the possibility that she'd encounter the store clerk. She'd been hesitant to go get her camera repaired because of the clerk. The clerk, on the other hand, had been in incredibly high spirits. After all, here was his chance to get his favorite idol's real name and phone number on the form she had to fill out. It
What a
also might
fucking
explain why
creep.
she'd called me that evening and asked some rather significant questions. When I thought about it, the answer seemed obvious. I combed through the comments, searching for more he might have written. It's so mean for you to ignore me, or perhaps you just didn't notice me?
You gotta block and move on. You can't just let it fester.
What are you doing now? I want to meet you. I want to meet you. I want to meet you. Frightening comments were posted one after another. Of course, other fans had simply
I think a lot of VTubers do this shit instead of being a girl content creators because of this shit. Now the VTubers probably still get this shit too. I mean, Shy Lily too, right? Like Shy Lily gets this shit all the time. Apparently, there was like, I'm not sure if you guys know who Shy Lily is, but she's basically a famous indie VTuber. She's like a what is she? Is she a fucking whale? Is she a dolphin? Anyway, she's some aquatic creature. Anyways, there was one tweet where apparently her DoorDash driver, basically a food delivery app, it was during Christmas time, and like the guy like always like delivered food to her place, right? And apparently he like asked her for a hug because it was like during Christmas time and he felt kind of lonely, and Shy Lily kind of felt bad, so like she was kind of like hesitantly accepted it, like the awkward hug. So again, this is a food delivery guy, possibly a stalker, kind of like hugging her, and then he tried to like kiss her. I'm not even lying. Go to her Twitter and scroll back to like December, near New Year's and Christmas time. I remember that. Maybe she deleted it, but I remember that shit. And the guy tried to like kiss her. He like leaned in after begging for the hug to kiss her, and then she pushed him away. And like, that's fucking creepy as fuck, dude. You think that he knows that she's Shy Lily? I don't know, man. But like, I would feel very compromised. I'd be like, holy fuck, we need to fucking move houses. If I was a girl, honestly, like fuck, I would have someone else get my food, you know? Like literally, we need a middleman to pick up the food that's getting delivered to her. To just protect her like secret, like that's fucked up.
been disgusted by these comments, but it was different for Sigura. I
Very
wondered if
creepy,
knowing
yeah.
that he was so close pushed her to the point of almost unimaginable terror, but Sigura had concealed it from us, and now she was desperately trying to fight Class C for us as a witness. She was probably hesitant to leave her dorm, considering how much this man's existence terrified her. If they were on the same campus, her fear wasn't surprising. However, there was hardly anything we could do, no plan we could implement to solve
Oh, we have a plan though. Let's hide behind a garbage can, and let's use Sigura as bait, and let's let the Kirk sexually assault her, and then let's go in with the evidence after recording him assaulting her. Perfect plan, right? Surely a normal person would come up with this plan, not a sociopath.
The issue of this stalker by tomorrow. In the end, the only option was to wait on an SOS from the girl in question. Chapter
God.
6, Truth and Lies.
Chapter
The day our
6.
fate will be decided was here. Before anything else, I wanted to confirm that Sigura was coming to school. When I entered the classroom, I saw the same thing as always. Sigura sat quietly alone, so as not to get roped into other students' conversations. Her expression seemed even gloomier than usual, but in any case, she'd still come to school. Are you okay? I asked. Yeah, I'm fine. I wondered if she was nervous. She seemed composed, if not completely calm. I thought that things would be tough if I were absent today, so she understood that the entire class would be upset if she were absent, so she
Okay,
made
she
the
showed
painful
up.
decision to come to school. I imagined it would be impossible to tell her not to think about Sadu and the others. Don't forget what I said yesterday. Testify for your own sake, more than anyone else's. Yeah, I'll be okay. Ike and Yamoki looked over at Sigura with great curiosity. Of course, that was
These
because
fucking
they now
creeps.
knew of her idol identity. Sigura was
100% they were fucking stroking it last night looking at her, Brock. Fucking creeps.
probably sensitive enough to notice this. She looked like she'd guessed that Ike and Yamoki had discovered her
Yep.
identity. Oh no. But Sigura
Oh,
just
no.
wore a thin smile and quietly mouthed the words, "It's all right." She was aware that we knew of her double life. Maybe working as an idol had made her sensitive to subtle changes in a room. 6.1. As the bell rang for the end
That was the fastest chapter ever.
of the
Holy
class,
shit.
Horikito and I stood up. Have you prepared for this, Sarukan? Yeah, I'm good. I was born ready, as if mentally.
What have you fucking prepared, Sarukan? You haven't done shit. You're just gonna sit there and probably yell and make things worse.
Preparing himself for what lay ahead, Sadu closed his eyes and folded his arms, but then he slowly opened his eyes again. You might call me a complete idiot and make fun
Yeah.
of me, but I'm me. If you have something you want to say it now. Don't do anything selfish.
Yeah, don't do
Actually
something
listening
stupid.
Right now would be the clever thing to do. Yes? You always act so high and mighty, lady. When you saw them like this, it did seem as though they fought like cats and dogs. But at the very least, Sadu didn't hate Horikita.
He's gonna become her dog. Yep, this is all part of the plan.
If he did, he would have absolutely refused her help, no matter how advantageous her offer. Do your best, Horikita.
I'm just starting to see there's so many things like the interactions between Suzune and Suda that leads to like season 2, you know, making Suzune realize that, hey, you're fucking useless. You should make Suda into her too. There's like a lot of setup that I didn't really see in the anime.
Sadukan. Horikita didn't respond at all, but Sadu pumped his fist to show resolve. I turned to check on Sigura, who was still sitting down. Her body rigid, she stood, her lips trembling slightly. Yeah, I'm okay, thank you. Sigura was far tenser than I'd expected. If she was in this psychological state before the meeting had even begun, she might not be able to speak satisfactorily. Let's go. We'll make a bad impression if we're late. The discussion was scheduled to begin at 4 p.m. It was already 3:50 p.m. We couldn't afford to take it slow. When the four of us got to the faculty room, a teacher waved at us to come on inside. Yahoo! Hello, Class D students. The
B class
homeroom
teacher?
teacher for Class B,
Yep.
Hoshinomiya Sensei, gave us this happy
Hoshinomiya.
greeting. It seems like something rather incredible has happened. Her eyes sparkled, as if she enjoyed sticking her nose into other people's business.
She loves sticking her nose into Anakoji's pussy.
Well, she did. What are you doing this time? Chabashira-sensei muttered. Oh no, I've been found out already. Huh? Chabashira-sensei glared over at Hoshinomiya-sensei and
Just making sure that Oshinomiya Sensei isn't sexually assaulting her students like
she
last
exited
time.
the faculty room. Whenever you sneak out, that's around the time I start to feel suspicious. Hoshinomiya gave a cute wink, as if saying, T.E. You got me, so I
Tee-hee.
guess I can't join in, huh? Of course you can't. You know that outsiders cannot participate, or, that's too bad. Well, that's
She just wanted to be part of the drama. She's like, damn, I want to see the court scene.
all right. The results should be out within the hour, I guess. Chabashira-sensei forcefully pushed Hoshinomiya-sensei back into the faculty room. Well then, shall we be going? She asked us. We're not going to do this in the faculty room, are we? Of course not. This school does have rather complicated rules, but in cases such as these a settlement is reached between the homeroom teacher of the class in question, the concerned parties, and the student council. Horikita froze the very moment she heard the word student council.
Manabu.
Chabashira-sensei turned and glanced sharply at Horikita's face. If you want to stop, now's the time. Horikita,
Manabu.
Sadu, who didn't understand why Horikita would react that
Nissan.
way, looked confused. It was almost as if a giant question mark was floating above his head. Our teacher, as usual, had revealed an important detail right at the last minute. I'll go.
Chabashira fucking set us up again? She straight up knew that Horikita, you know, is like very insecure about Nissan, so it's like, She brings this up at the end? Is this intentional? What the fuck?
I'm fine. Horikita quickly glanced at me. Her look probably meant something like, don't worry on my account. We left the first floor faculty room and walked up 3 floors to the 4th. A placard that reads student.
I can't take Manabu seriously anymore because of Cautious Hero. I keep thinking about Manabu saying these ridiculous lines like Atomic Boss to Spirito. You know? Fuck. Mushroom Head from Namaste Village. I guess he's just becoming goofier and goofier.
Council room was affixed to the wall near the doorway. Shabashira sensei knocked, and we went inside. Even though Horikita had winced, she immediately followed us. Inside, long tables had been arranged in rectangular formation. The 3 students from Class C had already arrived and were seated. Beside them sat a bespectacled male teacher in his 30s.
Oh, bespectacled male teacher in his 30s. Coat classroom of the elite. Oh, that's fucking redundant. Class 1C teacher. This dude. He's kind of left out. Yeah, of the first year teachers, he's kind of left out because these 3 are like a friend group, huh? While Kazuma Sakagami is like, I don't know, he's kind of left out, right? Dude, I love how Albert holds this fucking pose. Albert fucking... Bro, someone put the fucking Supreme jacket on him, dude. Yamada Albert. Albert is a tall Afro-Japanese male that stands slightly above average height. He's very muscular in stature, which contributes to his status as Kakuru Ryuin's top and most trusted enforcer. Albert is a loyal enforcer to Kakuru Ryuin, boss's orders, and follows his orders without question. Yeah, I think I remember the Supreme jacket from Albert before, yeah. Although he follows his orders, he appears to not like inflicting pain on some of his comrades, as shown as before he attacked Daichi Ishizaki. Yeah, he said, sorry, boss's orders, bad boy. He told him it was boss's orders, and don't hate him for it. I would never guess he's fucking half Japanese, dude. Look at him. Half Japanese, my ass. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I don't see anything Japanese about this guy. But technically, he is hiding his eyes. You know, maybe that's the thing he's hiding, bro. Maybe the only thing Japanese are his eyes, and he's just fucking hiding the fucking with the glasses. I don't know. I think that makes sense. They never show him his eyes though. Why? Is that like an intentional plot point? I don't know, man.
You are late. Our sensei said, it's before the scheduled start time. There's no need for apologies. Have you already met Sadu, Horikita, and I did not know the teacher. This is Sakagami sensei, the homeroom teacher for Class C. Now then, one lone male student seated in the back of the room attracted everyone's attention. This is the student council president, Horikita's older brother, without so much as even a glance at his sister, pored over the documents on his desk.
Didn't even look at Suzune. Literally fucking ignored.
Horikita directed her gaze at her brother for a short time, but when she realized that she wasn't his focus, she lowered her eyes and sat down in front of the Class C students. Well then, I would now like to discuss the violent incident.
What? No. They didn't show his, wait, are you sure? I think someone made a comment in the mountain arc when we were all sleeping. Albert, someone mentioned that Albert was too big for his bed because his feet were sticking out. His glasses were off? Was it off? But I don't think we saw his eyes there, right? I don't think we actually saw his eyes, did we?
Incident that occurred last.
No, this is season 1 stuff. Am I gonna spoil myself by doing this? Yo, where is the meme? Where is the meme of this, but just have Albert here, just wearing the sunglasses? You know how funny that would be? You got Anakoji, you got Suzune, Gashida, Sigura, Arisu. It'd be so funny if, you know, there's Albert here while the rest are just waifus. Oh man. No, I guess there isn't season 3 stuff here, huh? I guess not. I guess not. FBI? What's going on here? This is probably some spoiler stuff that I should have stopped looking at. I should probably still looking at that.
Last Tuesday with the members of the student council, the involved parties, and their homeroom teachers. You may begin the proceedings. Student council secretary to Cabana. Secretary to Cabana, a woman
Oh,
with short
Tachibana.
hair, gave a slight
It's Tachibana, but it's Kibana. Yo, finally, Tachibana has shown up. No. She was in volume 1. She was there. Kibana was there besides Manabu during the speech she gave, which was Conqueror's Hockey in the podium in the club day. Yeah, I remember that.
vow. Of course, considering the magnitude of this dispute, there are times when the student council president will take over. There are several unusual things about this incident. Other than that, the bulk of the proceedings will be handled solely by Takebana, as usual, because I am quite busy. There are certain agenda topics upon which I will defer. As a general rule, though, I would prefer to attend to these issues, as I'm entrusted to lead this student council. So, this is all by chance? Chabashira-sensei smiled as she said that, but Horikita's older brother never wavered. On the contrary though, Horikita the younger sister, couldn't hide her trembling. Considering they were brother and sister, the odds were not in our favor. In fact, I couldn't help but think that this situation was extremely disadvantageous.
He still doesn't like Anakochi. No. Anakochi does know about the relationship because we had the scene where we saved Suzune from the palm strike.
As Horikita couldn't demonstrate her usual prowess here. Our expectations.
This is where we need to do just fucking kuchi, you know? Anakoji tickles. Yeah.
怪我の
The director really loves Suzune, man. The director really loves him.
Had been thoroughly shattered. If the student council president acted, there'd be nothing we could do, even if we didn't like it. He'd enrolled in Class A and immediately taken office as secretary for the student council. In December of his first year, he became the student council president after receiving an overwhelming amount of support in the election. Although some senior students had naturally voiced their displeasure, our current hopeless situation spoke to his incredible abilities. Secretary Takebana summarized the situation from both sides in an easy-to-understand manner. There wasn't any need for further explanation. Based on the aforementioned facts, we would like for you to identify which version of events is true. After completing her explanation and the preface to the proceedings, Secretary Takebana turned her eyes toward us in Class D. Kamiya-kun and 2 other members of the basketball club went to the special building after Sadu-kun called them there.
Kamiya. Oh, it's the basketball. They literally are NPCs that only exist. Like Ishizaki is the only important NPC. The other NPCs are literally just like random basketball players that we'll never see again.
There, they claim to have been beaten up in a one-sided brawl. Is this true? What those guys said was a lie. I was the one that got called over to the special building, Sadu said. That day, after practice, Kamiya and Kondu asked me to go to the special building. Honestly,
not Hondu.
I thought it was kind of annoying, but I also thought it might have been because they were always hostile towards me. So, I went to meet them. Sadu wasn't one to mince words. Normally, Horikita would have been disgusted by his casual way of speaking, but judging from her trembling she didn't hear him at all. Sakagami Sensei, Class C's homeroom teacher, stared in wide-eyed amazement. That's a lie. Sadu-kun called us over to the special building. Don't screw with me, Kamiya. You were the one who called me, you jerk.
See, now this is just he said, you said, no one knows, bro. Everybody is just fucking capping. There's no hard evidence. It's just fucking public court of public opinion now. I think this is where we're going to stop today's reading. I think we're going to resume that tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the stream. I will see you tomorrow. I'm kidding. We're going to go to Twitch now, okay? I am on Twitch now. We're gonna watch some anime. We're gonna start with Snafu. I'll see you there, guys. Ending YouTube stream. See you on Twitch side.